a meal. That is a meal.
I feel like every time we record, I'm eating or something.
Well, because it is around lunchtime, so it's like we consistent,
Nah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, as long as people know, like, this is really who I am. Like, this is really what I do.
Well, you know me, I'm all about authenticity. So, hey, you gotta eat. You know what I mean? Yeah, that. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, that looks good.
It goes down. Well,
it looks like it goes down.
I told you to get it together with that. Come on now. You killing me. Feeling pumped?
Makes me feel alive. Gotta do what makes me feel alive.
Absolutely. Welcome all.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
And if you're here for the first time, welcome.
Welcome
to this dope fire
Writer's Block
episode of Writer's Block.
Writer's Block.
And if you are a writer or aspiring writer, or you want to write a book, this is the place for you.
The place to be.
Come learn together. There's a community.
Learn, grow, laugh, eat.
And
if it's a family affair.
Yeah, it's
and
real.
Sometimes I might because I'm a curse.
Real authentic over here. Real authentic. We don't play around. And today, hey,
Devon Connors.
Ooh.
Ready? No.
Oh, Welcome Delivery. Yo. Welcome Delivery is my baby, and it's growing into this this thing. It's amazing
household
to
name.
see.
I told you, a household name. Are you ready for that? You ready to be a household name? Devon Connors.
I think I'm ready to I'm ready to keep my foot on people's neck, and that's just my doubters,
It's your girl Diamond SKY.
It's that snap. That snap is where it's at. Y'all sleep on that snap, boy.
Why don't you tell the people what they in for today?
For all my people out there who are struggling to come up with a title for their book, in today's episode, I'm going to share with you 4 quick and easy ways to create a book title, even if you believe you're not that creative, which I believe you're creative. I believe everybody has some sense of creativity in them, but 4 quick and easy ways to create a great book title, even if you believe you're not creative. That's what you're in store for today. So if you're struggling with titling your book, you're definitely going to want to tune in.
I feel like titles are so hard.
I'm glad you said that.
Writing? What'd you say?
I'm glad you said that.
What did you say? Oh, yeah, because even writing Broken Skin, I'm like, I changed the title 5 times before I was like, no, this is the title. And actually, I think it's more like the story's going this way, this title fits, and then I'm like, the story's going that way, title change.
Well,
like when I knew the story that I wanted to tell, I was like, no, this is the title, and nothing's gonna change it.
It's funny because I have that in my notes. I was going to ask you. I was like, you changed the name of your book a few times, so that's why I thought today would be a fire episode. So I had that in my notes. So you look at you, without even knowing, just led right into it. And because the thing is, for me, the thing about even titling your book, it's either super easy are really, really difficult. I feel like there's no in between. And when I think of both of my book titles, they were pretty easy for me to come up with. When I pictured what I wanted to write about, and that's why I think these 4 tips are going to be pretty powerful for people to help them title out their book. Because I'll give some stuff that I've learned, I give some stuff that I've used, and I would love to hear your feedback and even help you lock in on Broken Skin. So, and you've already said it, by the way. That first tip is, don't let struggling to name your book keep you from writing. Like if you have an idea and you have an outline, chances are you're going to come up with the title of that book during the writing process. Right. So that's the most important thing to remember, I believe. Don't let it get like, man, I don't know what the title of my book, I don't know. But if you got something to write about, write it. Because that may spark the idea for that title. So.
Because as I'm at, I titled my book first. And so the first title I had, right? What No One Talks About. I'm like, I was writing a story based on that title. And it was so hard to try to write because I'm like, the story I want to tell does not connect with the title. Mm-hmm. And I was like stuck in this, it has to match, like everything has to go together. And then it's like, title change, because I'm sick of this. Like I'm sick of trying to match my story with my title. I'm like, no, title change, because this does not work out.
Right.
And as I started writing a new story, I was like, well, this is not really. I started writing a new story, and I'm like, okay, well, this title ain't working either. But like you said, I feel like I stopped holding myself accountable for the title and just to the story, like held myself to the story. And as I was holding myself to the story, the title came to me. Like, oh, okay, I know what I want to name.
That's important.
What I want to tell.
Because that just shows, like, I think as that just goes back to society, I think you're groomed to respect the title more than you are the actual foundation of what makes that title. Mm-hmm. I mean, people even do it with jobs, or like, oh, this dude's a lawyer, so he must be smart. Or this dude's a doctor, he must be smart. Mm-hmm. And the foundation and the principles that doctor lives off of could be completely trash.
Come on now. I don't think they're ready for that.
They ain't ready for that? But hey, so I'm saying, so the fact that you like, hey, let me write this story first, then I'll give it a title, versus like, oh, I got this title, let me live up to this standard of, let me create this narrative to fit this title. It's backwards. It's almost backwards. So you want, like, I want the foundation first. I'm like, yo, boom, stamp it with a title that fits. Right, like that's who I am.
I need the information first before I can respect the title. Right? Like, the title's gonna grab me. Like if somebody walking around, they see the title, like, interesting. But you don't really respect the title until you finish the book, until you start reading, you're like, now I understand why you named it what you named it. Right? So you don't really respect the title until you get all the information either. So I mean, they do go hand in hand, but write the story, write the information, and then give it a title.
Boom.
That's what I.
So that's tip number 1. Just write the story. Just start writing. Don't let it stop you from writing. Mm-hmm. Moving into my second tip. Now that you've written this book and you have the information, you can look for like keywords and themes that you can turn into titles. So for like nepotism for dinner, like nepotism was the key word in this book. Family is based off family structure, wealth, health, and everything else. But nepotism is the foundation of that. Yeah, a little bit. I'm in there. I'm there today. Hey, sometimes it just come naturally. I I think this is where I feel alive. This is where I feel my most self. So, no telling what you might get. I can let my brain do its thing. I don't have to think about it. I can just let it go. So nepotism, the key word was nepotism. Nepotism for dinner. Mm-hmm. Even an hour of play keeps a 9 to 5 away. The theme was time. So that's so taking some keywords or taking some themes that you have written about in this book may fit that story. So that's another thing. So that's that. But the only way you can get that theme and figure out those keywords is from writing the book itself.
You write, you edit, you go over stuff, you read it, you're like, oh, okay, I think that's how I came up with the title Broken Skin. Because it was like, I have all these stories about not being like the identity crisis, the trying to figure out who I am, like living this like broken lifestyle, just like broken skin, like it makes sense.
And if you think about it, the title is just the skin of your book.
Ooh.
What?
All right.
What?
I really
Who is this guy? Who is this guy? What?
I could not. Yeah, well, I'll know him. Yeah. But yeah, when you edit and you go over your own stuff and you go over your own work, you know where you want your story to go. And like you said, like, am I seeing a repeated theme? Do all stories have this connected idea? Like, okay, I can make that into a title. Again, I don't think it's important to connect the story to the title. I think we need to connect the title to the story.
Mm-hmm. Yo, totally. And in all full disclosure, I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm pretty sure I had the title of, and this is just my process because of what I already knew, kind of what I wanted to get out. But I think I did have the title of my books before I started writing. So, but this is for somebody that's struggling. If you're really just struggling for a title, this is something you can go to. But if you have your title already and you know the story you want to tell, boom, you're groovy.
But that's the thing, right? Like you said, you already knew what story you wanted to tell.
Right.
Like me, I started with my title.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of knew the story I wanted to tell. Right. And that was the issue. Like, I wasn't set on what story I wanted to tell. I knew the point I wanted to get across.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure like how I wanted to tell the story. And like figuring out that process, I told you what happened, my brain explosion. Figuring out my story helped me to figure out the title. So sometimes I feel like it works either way, but if you know the story that you want to tell, it's easier to connect the title to the story.
Right. Another thing you can do, tip number 3, is just make a list. Make a list of titles that you possibly could want. And what I do, like, since I'm in this space of a writer, completely immersed, and this is a thing I even did before I even realized that, I have like in my phone, if a dope title just comes to me, I'll put it. So I just have a list of titles in this notepad of like possible things that just come to my head, the things that I want to write about. And then like if a title comes to me, boom. So if you take that list, just like Google the list, just like Google titles that you got in that list and see what comes up in Google. And the thing is too, if there's something already pretty popular that has that title already, just go ahead and eliminate it.
Right.
Yeah, because it's not going to do you any justice. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if a dope title pops in my head, I put it into my list. And that's really it for the third tip. Just make a list. Make a list. It's always nice to have a list of things to go to in your back pocket. Like, let me check. Yeah. Let me check these.
Because then you're like, obviously your brain is thinking of an idea here and there. As we do, we connect dots. So we're constantly trying to connect the dots. It's like if you have this list to refer to, you can see like number one, not working. And two, maybe, all right, I'll keep it for a little while. Number three, absolutely not. It's too popular, whatever. Like I don't Google it. Somebody else got this title, right? So now you can, process of elimination is good, right? Like you working through a process, and maybe if you have a list, then it can inspire you. Like you still writing a story, you still trying to figure out the title, and then one day you go back to this list and you're like, oh snap. And then it started a whole different title, and now you know what title you need.
Boom. All facts. This last tip, which is probably one of my favorites, is I call it the ask and wait. So literally just go up to a friend and say, if you have a book title in mind, or whatever you're writing, you got a title for it, go up to a friend and say, hey, I just read this new book, or I even say, hey, I just watched this new movie, and give them the title of it, whatever that title you were thinking about testing out or wanting to name your book. Give them the title and just see how they respond. Did they get interested? Did they perk up a little bit? They're like, that's instant feedback you can get right away. You can just take a bunch of different titles and go test them out on different people. Everybody you talk to that day, but hey, I just read this new book. Lamps are for shade.
Lamps are for shade.
Just, you know what I'm saying? Just something on top of the dome. They're like lamps is for shade. Normally lamps are for light. What's this lamps for shade about? And then that's you got your title right there.
This man's been bars today. He is not holding back.
I can't hold back. This may be the last podcast I ever record. I don't know. You never know. I can't hold back.
It's my last story to tell. It's my last title to make.
And because the thing is about this, man, and I those are the 4 tips. I don't want to make these too long. Not all the time. Sometimes we get going. Sometimes we can go all day.
Yeah.
But I really want to give some people some tangible things they can take, consume right away, and go implement. But even if you think no one will buy your book, think of something you bought just because of the title. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not with that idea.
I give you a bonus tip too. I give one more. I got a bonus tip. This is a bonus tip for the people. If you stay with me this long, listen to me talk my shit this long, I give you a bonus tip. A thing I do also to name my books. I like slogans. Like I look up slogans or sayings. Like an hour of play keeps the 9 to 5 away. Literally just came from an apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's literally what that came from.
People like rhyme and rhythm.
Yeah, I love Dr. Seuss books growing up.
Nostalgic things always catch people.
Mm-hmm. Always. So that's my bonus tip for you guys. But
reminder.
What do you want to stack anything else on top of those? Any? Are you? Something.
I agree to all everything that you said, and back to my first point of I just feel like people don't get stuck on the title. At least for me, being stuck on the title was not allowing me to write my book the way that I wanted to write it.
Mm-hmm.
And don't think that the title will not come. And it's fine to have a title. Like you said, make a list, have a title that you may want. But once you read your story and once you know the point that you want to get across, go back and rework it and figure out, go through the process of making sure that nobody else has the same title, because that would mess you up.
At least a popular title at that. I mean, because there could be a book out there that's not that pop, or even something out there that's not that popular, so has the same title. But if you know you about to put some fire, that's going to be way more popular than.
Tip: you cannot copyright a title, so you can have whatever title you want. And nobody, I'm like, you can't copyright a title, so even if somebody else has the title, you can still have it. Just make your book more popular than theirs.
But hey, my shit fire. I don't know what they talking about on that.
But
my shit.
I don't have another point outside of yours. I agree. I'm here for it today.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. We do this every week. Also, drop in the comments which strategy you found the most helpful. We appreciate feedback, and even if you have your own tips, to help come up with the book title, drop them in the comments, man. I'm a sponge. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Help a writer out.
Help a fellow writer out.
Jay, what's good? Happy belated birthday. I know she can't hear with the headphones, but
yeah, she can hear. She said thank you.
Shout out to Jay. Her birthday just passed.
So 7 now.
That being said,
help a fellow writer out.
Go grab Nepotism for Dinner and Broken Skin. Both of those links will be in the description to both of those books. Because we writers, and that's what we do. So that's it for today's episode. Yeah, Devon Connors got.
You gotta get a bell.
I can always. Maybe I get a bell. I get a bell. I'm just not trying to ring my own bell. You know what I'm saying? Am I spitting or am I spitting? What is going on?
It's your girl Diamond SKY. Help a fellow writer out. Writer's block.
Writer's block. And we see y'all next week. Gang, gang.
I'm over you.